Well, a 24-hour period 4 years ago changed the landscape of sports. The cancellation of NBA and college basketball games signaled the start of a pandemic shutdown for many, and it didn't take long for everyone to point to this moment when Rudy Gobert jokingly touched all the microphones during media availability as the first domino that took every single thing down. Cam Smith back on ITA with my guys Shams Charania and Harrison Sanford. Fellas, we remember that moment 4 years ago when everything just changed throughout the world and also the NBA. So, Shams, I'll start with you. When did you realize that things were getting serious with the pandemic?
I think right before Rudy Gobert tested positive, you saw March Madness and everything there. They removed fans, so it was going to be played in front of no fans, March Madness. And that was really the calling to me that this is real. And then once Rudy Gobert tested positive the night, I believe, of the 11th, which was yesterday, that is to me when things started to get real. And then you saw the effect that happened. 4 minutes. I remember that night I heard about it. Yeah. It took me about an hour and a half to break it. I finally got the full green light to break it. I put it out. And then 4 minutes later, the NBA season got suspended and ultimately went on a hiatus for several months. Didn't come back until July, I think. So that year was just insane for me overall. And I think once Rudy Gobert tested positive, you saw the domino effect it had, not only in sports, but in society.
Yeah, it was insane for a lot of people, for sure. And thinking like, okay, is this a reality? Are we really going through this right now? So, Harrison, take us back to where you were when this moment happened with Rudy Gobert, when the pandemic officially started. Feels like for a lot of people when it came to this.
I was actually in L.A. This was the time when I was covering the Los Angeles Lakers, doing the podcast with Danny Green at the time. And I just remember our conversations, and we were almost in disbelief. There was a belief among some of the players that even if the league got shut down, it'd be back in a week, 2 weeks. Nobody knew it'd be a span of months. It was really shocking. I remember actually speaking, we did an episode of the podcast, and actually Shams was our guest. And so was Avery Bradley. And we discussed just how difficult this was to even process at the time, because it was just unfathomable for us to see anything like this. And I remember, you have to remember, too, being in L.A. at the time, we had just started to try and get over the grief of Kobe Bryant passing. And there was so much hope among Lakers fans because they had just come over a weekend series sweep of the Milwaukee Bucks and the Los Angeles Clippers. Hopes were high, and the passing of Kobe Bryant was kind of not necessarily gone, but fading away, and that pain was starting to go away. And it just felt like there was another burden and another source of despair that kind of entered the realm when we realized COVID-19 was a real thing. It was a unbelievable moment to kind of digest it all, and it's still kind of shocking now to realize that we even went through a period in our lives. It's not really something that I hope we go through again, and obviously something that we will never forget.
Yeah, all of our viewers watching the show right now, jump into the comments section. Tell us about your initial reaction, where you were, when it happened. And also, if you want to submit that video to fully explain what was going on with you when you heard about the NBA being shut down and really the pandemic for a lot of people starting when that situation happened with Rudy Gobert, send us that video over to watchstadium.com/submit. I know where I was. I was actually in New York City getting ready to do a show, MSG 150. For MSG, Monica McNutt, Bill Pito, Alan Hahn. And when we got the news, it was a shock. We didn't believe it. And normally we go into the show joking, laughing, but we didn't start the show on those humorous kind of tones and setting and vibes. It was something where we had to take account of what was going on, the severity of the situation, and what that meant for so many different people. And I was thinking about, okay, I have to fly back home to Chicago to be with my wife and my son. Will I be able to fly back to go see them? Do I have to go quarantine? It was just so many unknowns at that point in time. And thankfully, we've gotten through that. Hopefully, we don't foresee anything happening like that coming forward. But it was just a scary time and something that was so unknown for what was going on.